As we move into the autumn season, this flow is designed to help you align with nature's rhythm, balance yin and yang, and strengthen your immune system during times of transition. If you'd like to go deeper, join our community where we host live sessions every week and explore fall-themed Tai Chi and Qigong classes together. It also comes with a 7-day free trial so you can join without any commitment. Now let's get started with our flow. We're going to do a really interesting practice working on the 8 Pieces of Brocade. We're going to look at the first 3 movements. Now, the 8 Pieces of Brocade is one of the oldest and most common Qigong systems out there that focuses on, moving the arms around the body. And there's a lot of different variations of these movements. And it's not that one is right or one is better. It's about using these movements to understand our body and understand the concepts that we're trying to work on within Qigong. So let's go ahead and get started with a few grounding breaths and into some loosening exercises. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. We're going to use these grounding breaths to become familiar with our breath. In through the nose as we rise, out through the mouth as we exhale and lower. Feel the breath filling the whole body. Use the movement to slow the breath down. Deepen the breath. Use the breath to slow the movement down, to get a little bit more connected in your space. We're going to take 3 more of these grounding breaths together. Start to notice that bottom position. One more together. And let's stay down at that bottom position and holding the cauldron just for a moment. We want to get familiar with this bottom position and this idea of gathering up from the ground. And we want to feel our energy reaching down as well as pulling back up. So just take a few breaths here. And we're going to be coming back to this position before we get into lifting up the sky. But let's go ahead and release, circle the arms. And go through some loosening movements. So step the feet into a comfortable position and ankle rockers. Reach through the toes, ground the ankles. We're just going to do a few loosening exercises, working from the ground up to get us more into our space. Loosen up the joints and let the breath relax and find its rhythm. Good. Arms out to side, gentle twisting, keeping the head on center line. Keep a connection between the hands. Feel this happening through the body. You want to feel the turning at the waist, not a twisting or torque at the knees. Good. And relax. Shrugging the shoulders. So drawing the shoulders up, rolling them back and down. You can start to connect the breath to this movement, exhaling as you go down, inhaling as you go up. Feeling the whole body. Raise the shoulders, release the shoulders. And switching directions. One more. All right, and circling the arms. Okay, let's get into our 8 pieces of brocade practice. We're going to begin with lifting up the sky, 3 different versions, and then move into the archer and separating earth and sky. Now, lifting up the sky is said to stimulate the triple burner process within our Qigong. Now, the triple burner process, or the 3 furnaces, is a really simple concept that we can start to work with right away. Just like any sort of furnace, it creates energy, it creates heat, and it creates that from the bottom up. When you put in fuel into a furnace, it creates a flame and that heat rises. And so when we connect to our movement, we want to connect from the bottom up to feel our energy as well as from the top down. So we can observe this process clearly from our top-down perspective and feel the energy coming up from the ground. Now, to do this, we have our posture, our movement, and our breath. And so the breath is the most consistent and rhythmic aspect of our movement. And so that's something we want to really connect with. And so this should follow your rhythm, where once you are connected to the movement, your inhalation is what gets you to rise, and your exhalation lowers. Take your time going through these phases, and then we're going to explore a few different variations of the movements and see how this affects this process. So let's go ahead and begin. We're going to start with the really basic version. Inhaling. Exhaling. So feel the breath fill from the ground up, filling the belly, ribs, chest, and exhale, feel it go back to the belly, down to the ground. Feel the hands gently scooping as if you were holding that cauldron, rolling over, pressing, opening, releasing. Let the breath guide the movement. Feel that gentle rise and fall in the body. It doesn't have to be very low. It's like sitting, but not sitting. And now we're going to transition into another version of this same movement. And so down at the bottom, add a little scoop, turn and gather. All the way up. And then now instead of opening, we release and just come right back down the body. Try to relax the whole body behind what the hands are doing. Feel the palms just as much as you feel the fingers. We're going to do 2 more variations of this one. we're gonna finish with 3 rounds of this last variation. So interlace the fingers, lift up, inhaling, hold for just a moment, and release. It's just like giving a friend a boost. You step into your hands and you lift them up. And one more. Good. And a grounding breath. Good. And move the feet around a little bit. That was a little bit of a more extended lifting up the sky than we usually might do. So that's really a lot of energy coming through. And that's why those variations are nice, because we can flow through the different variations and extend our practice a little bit and get a little bit more energy into it, seeing it how there is a lot of similarity between those moves, just some slight variations. So coming to the next one, arms and legs a little wider. This is the archer. So version 1, we're gonna start by finding the line of our shoulders and just reaching out from side to side. We inhale as we lift up and turn. We exhale and pull across as we lower, coming to center, releasing the hands, inhaling as we move to the other side. Feel from fingertips to fingertips. Gently close the hand. Now, even though this is the archer, where is the comparison and feeling of lifting up the sky? It's with the breath. So feel the breath come up from the ground, filling all the way up to the hands, and then exhaling back down. Just like in lifting up the sky. One more of this variation. This one's more challenging on the legs because of the horse stance. Now release the arms. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. The constant is always the breath. This is what allows us to blend and compare the movements, weaving them together like brocade. If you like, you can join us in one more version of this one. Or if there's one of the previous ones that you liked, you can stick with that one. And one more. And closing. And let's take a grounding breath. And coming into the last movement, separating earth and sky. We inhale, pressing equally up and down, gaze follows the top hand. Exhale. Inhale. Feel a connection between the hands. But also, where is lifting up the sky? It's the body still rising and falling, connected to the breath. Feel the palms, feel the fingers. And one more, and we're going to come into a variation. This is a little bit more challenging of a variation. We inhale and open. As we exhale, we turn, creating a diagonal. And then inhale, pulling apart. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, expand. Exhale, turning, finding the diagonal. Inhale, pull apart. This is probably one of my favorite variations of this move because of that little turn. As you open, you find that little turn to give a little bit more awareness to the back and shoulders. You can open the body as you inhale, separating earth and sky. Gaze follows the top hand. And let's do one more. Good. And 3 grounding breaths. And one more, and before we release to loosening and walking in our space, come back to holding the cauldron. And just relax the breath and feel the breath just drop deeper into the body, a little bit more naturally, perhaps. Feel the perspective from the ground up, the strength of the legs supporting the upper body, the fullness of the belly expanding out into the arms, giving you a much better sense of your shape after today's practice. All right, release it, shake it out, walk your space. Really feel your feet, feel from the ground up as you move. A lot of information after a Qigong practice like that. So thank you for joining us today. That was the 8 Pieces of Brocade, just the first 3 movements done in a few different variations, creating a really nice energy for our practice so that we can learn how to take the movements and really make them our own and blend them together. If you enjoyed this practice, subscribe to stay connected with our weekly sessions and keep deepening your flow. You can keep your momentum going by checking out these videos next.